Well, sorry about that. My microphone was off. I sincerely apologize for that. But good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on Inside Pages on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Here on Inside Pages, what we do is that we look into the pages of the newspapers that we have. We come up with what we believe are the big stories. We invite the relevant guests and ask them the good questions or the critical questions. So yes, the NDC has secured a landmark victory in the Ablekuma North constituency with parliamentary candidate Rabna Obeng defeating the new patriotic parties Naneke Efriye by 209 votes in a tense rerun election. Now the results declared late Friday night marks the first time the NDC has won the seat since Ghana's Fourth Republic began in 1992. And at some point in the show, we'll be telling you who have been winning that seat since 1992. But there were also some troubling moments. There were also some chaotic moments that we would be talking about and be asking, so when are we going to nip political violence in the bud? Secondly, America, we call them Uncle Sam. The United States of America has come out with new visa rules. They have scrapped the 5-year multiple entry visa and have actually introduced only a single entry 3-month visa. What may have possibly accounted for this? Is it something that Ghana did not do rightly? Or Ghana and of course other African countries who have all been or will be impacted by this decision? What is it? Or it is just a mere Trump new policy as part of many other reforms that is bringing on board as far as his policy, as far as his foreign policy is concerned. Join us as we have this conversation on the show here on Inside Pages. My name once again is Awudu Moro. Stay with us. Please don't go away.
Bedum tamaso. Hey, Jay. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwaya mabesisia. Abozege. Akache say no ya konate and the more drink woman. Hey. But I tell me. Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Hey, Dabio, baby wom. Ready? Hey, baby wom. Ah, Aji! I'll cause some discomfort. Sorry, well, uncle, where would the dad? Why your funeral? At your phone for Aerofield Trading. Sorry, it killed them all.
No mum share Nanda Daya was mosquito call is to do a munumu. Na say spray with them musa. Chaisima a dronum and sana dynamo.
And Kratoi FDA Ajatum.
Buy affordable service plots and lands from estate masters. Currently selling our next cottage, located at the newly proposed airport city with a starting price of 25,000 Ghana cedis. We also have Palm Hills, located at Panfukuro in the Gomwa East District, also with a starting price of 15,000 Ghana cedis. Available also is Coastal Park in Lakpleku, which is a 15-minute drive from the Ngo Senior High School, having a starting price of 55,000 Ghana cedis. You will receive a free site plan with indenture once you successfully purchase a land from us. For any enquiries, contact the numbers provided. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
No matter how far you run away, you always come back to where you started.
Tortured, mutilated, fingers cut off.
I can lend you the money. My boss believes in giving players another chance.
You don't know what to do if you don't have the money to pay back. Come and listen to me.
Sir, it's done.
Good.
1 week, that is all you got to pay up.
You've been gambling.
Unfortunately, we're still chasing shadows.
This
clearing the board to make way for something bigger.
How could you do this to us, God?
Who's there?
I can fix this.
Rebna Obin pulled 34,090. So I, Joseph Ni Kwatela Kwoti, the returning officer of Abrikuma North constituency, do declare Rebna Abuya Obin, the NDC candidate, as the MP elect for Abrikuma North constituency. Nanekia 33,881. Irabna Obin 34,090. Total valid vote 67,917. Rejected vote 411. Total votes cast 68,328. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
The seat is our seat. We knew we won the seat as far back 2024. Just that we were being robbed. Fortunately for us, our resilience and confidence has paid off today. We've been very consistent in this process. We knew that the NDC candidate, Erabna, was the choice of the people of Ablekuma North. So we are not surprised with the figures. In any case, the candidate is here. She will enter any moment from now, and you will hear from her. We have fought this battle in order to restore the sanctity of democracy in Ghana. We didn't want anybody to rob us. That is why we fought hard, and finally victory has come. Democracy has won.
You've been accused of using...
Oh, it means that the people of Ablekuma North, at least after 6 months, we get to have representation in Parliament, and so we can also go and fight for our people. So it's a good feeling, yes. In Ablekuma North, our issues are quite simple, but deep, because it's existed for a very long time. Flooding, sanitation issues, poor roads, gutters, etc. These basic things, I mean, we are deprived of. So I'm sure we'll work at it and then see how best we can improve the constituency.
It's been assaulted as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
You know,
No, I haven't had the time to get on social media or even watch TV because I've been busy running around the polling station. So maybe but I believe these are security issues and can be looked into. And then if there are any people to be brought to book, I'm sure it will be done.
As a government, let me also indicate that we take a strong view against any activities or acts that tend to endanger journalists. And I acknowledge the plea put forward by the newly or re-elected president of the Ghana Journalists Association regarding the mistreatment of a journalist and the plight of our colleague, our brother, who suffered unduly at the hands of some misguided elements in the course of his work covering the 2020 elections. I will liaise with the GJA president to see how we can assist to alleviate his plight. My heart also goes out to all those who, in the line of their work as journalists, have suffered some form of molestation or mistreatment. We condemn any form of mistreatment towards journalists. Covering events and doing your job to bring the news to the doorstep of Ghanaians should not lead to situations where your life is put in danger.
Recipe for disaster if every political party has to raise their own army to give them protection during an election. But this is the message that is being sent. What we have to be clear about is that the people who have perpetrated these acts have been caught on video. I call on the president to take action, and all the people in charge of this country, the administration, to take action to bring the perpetrators to book. This is the only way we can deter this in the future. But we have seen them, and let me assure them that should they not be brought to book, we will not forget. They will be brought to book no matter how long it takes. We will not forget what has happened. We want peace in this country. This is not the democracy that Ghana wants to see. And so it is very important that these sorts of terrible acts are not encouraged. Thank you very, very much.
All right, so joining us this morning for, as usual, what promises to be a very interesting conversation here and also very, very thought-provoking is Theophilos Jimega Jr. He's a private legal practitioner and also a member of the NDC's communications team and also an engineer. Good morning, Engineer Theophilos Jimega. I don't know why you don't add an engineer to your name, Engineer Theophilos Jimega.
Well, I'll consider adding it. I feel sometimes the titles are too many. Okay. My name is already long.
Yeah.
It's a jaw-breaking name.
Right.
Theophilos is long.
Right.
Jimega is long.
Right.
I'm actually a junior.
Oh, okay.
So, Engineer Theophilos Jimega Jr.
Okay.
Esquire.
That's too long.
That would be too long.
So you decided to drop the.
I decided to
drop the engineer.
Theophilos Jimega Jr. And you can mention the engineer.
Yeah, I like all.
Okay, I'll consider it.
Yes,
I'll add all.
I like all. So we'll do Engineer Theophilos Jimega Jr. Esquire.
Pleasure.
Good to have you join us on the show.
Pleasure.
And also Ishaq Ibrahim, he doesn't like a lot of titles, but he's a private legal practitioner and also a UPSA law lecturer and a member of the NPP's legal directorate. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. And good morning to my colleague in the studio. And good morning to the good people of Ghana.
We'll also be joined on the show by Nana Yao Sapon, who's a political aide to Alan Cheremanting. You know, Alan Cheremanting is the leader and the convener the leader and founder of the Movement for Change. Let me rather put it that way. He'll also be joining us on the show shortly. And Professor Jonas Akwapo, at some point on the show, will also be joining us. He's a project director of the Democracy Project, CDD fellow, and also our own Dr. Arthur Kennedy, who's a political analyst and a physician. They will also be joining us on the show at some point. So I'll start with Engineer Theophilos Dimega. It's his party that has won these elections, and of course by Representative Irabuna Orbin. But before I even go to him, let me just read a statement by the Ghana Police Service on the unfortunate violence that characterized yesterday's event in some parts, in some polling centers. I want to be clear, it didn't happen everywhere. In some, specific polling centers. And it says police interdict officer seen in viral video assaulting a reporter. And it says the Ghana Police Service has monitored a viral video in which one of our officers is seen assaulting a reporter. The officer concerned has been withdrawn from the ongoing election duty at Ablekuma North, and in line with internal disciplinary procedure, he has been interdicted and referred to the Police Professional Standards Bureau, PIPS, for investigations. Would like to assure the public that a thorough investigations will be conducted into the matter, and further updates will be communicated. And that's what you see on the screen. And it's signed by Richmond Mensah, who's Assistant Superintendent of Police for Director Public Affairs. So that's how swift the police acted when this violence against the media occurred yesterday. And it's totally reprehensible, it's totally unacceptable, it's totally condemnable. You do not touch or harm any media person whose only job is to bring to Ghanaians what's happening around the country. That's the only duty they're supposed to go and discharge. And so what happened yesterday was totally unacceptable. It was totally untenable. And you heard the Minister for Government Communications, that's Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, who publicly, denounced or publicly condemned what happened with regards to the harm that was caused by, or the physical assault that was meted out by some police officer to the GH1 journalists. So Theophilos, what does this victory mean for you as a political party? First of all, congratulations.
Yes, let me use the.
Unfortunately, I don't have any alcoholic champagne for us to pop.
Oh, we've popped a lot of champagne already.
But you had a lot of fun yesterday.
Yes. I mean,
really?
Way before the results were announced, we were aware we were winning.
How?
There are certain factors that were pointing to.
Because if you said you were optimistic of winning,
no.
Not the same
But
as
they were aware they were winning.
Winning. I mean, all the opinion polls showed that we were going to win. The general approval rating of His Excellency, the President John Dramani Mahama, has been all-time high for a president in 7 months in office. The general economic conditions in the country, food prices are down, transportation fares went down, petroleum prices, etc., are down, stress-free policy, and a lot of things are pointing to the fact that NDC was going to take the seat. So it was not too much. We were in that mood. The champagne had been on ice prior to the election, the declaration. May I take this opportunity to congratulate Irabuna Orbin for making history, for being the first NDC person to win the seat, also for being the first female to win the Ablekuma North seat for the NDC. 2 feats she has achieved in the last 24 hours. Congratulations, Madam. And I hope that you will live up to the expectations and wishes and aspirations of the constituents, as she mentioned, sanitation, poor road networks, flooding, etc. So congratulations. I wish you all the best. May everything work well as you desire. Yes, you asked a question particularly about what we saw, the election violence, particularly in regard to the policeman and the journalist. I was in the EIB Star FM studio when the news popped out, and I volunteered to assist the young man, and I got a few calls from the network. I appreciate the fact that the police acted swiftly to interdict one of their own. It was disgusting, it was reprehensible. It shouldn't have happened. If you look at the young man, with the video we saw, he did nothing untoward. Perhaps it's verbal. We didn't hear what he said. But it did not in any way or shape or form call for the slap we saw from the officer. And you will notice, even before the announcement from the police came, that all those others around him didn't try to restrain him. So he was senior to them. So they were all scared on what to say. They only moved the journalists away. He shouldn't have done that. And beyond the interdiction and the police suspension or whatever he will face, what actions are being taken by the individual and the network? I believe this is an issue where the individual, the Banahini involved, and the EIB network must take a civil action against the police officer and generally against the Ghana Police Service, because he was in the duty of working for the Ghana Police Service. So Ghana Police Service will be vicariously liable for the actions of one of their own. It is for this reason that I applaud them for the swift action. Let us hope that something comes out of it. They don't just do it for the optics, for us to feel that they have done something, and later on, when everybody goes to sleep, and we forget about it. But seriously, this is an indication or a descendant or an offshoot of what we witnessed in Ayawaso West Wugon. In that instance, it was a member of parliament who was slapped by the police, who was assaulted mercilessly by the police. The uproar is not what we are seeing today. Perhaps times have changed. And when it was wrong then, it is wrong today. It is for this reason that I am of the view that if the Ayawaso West Wugon recommendations by Emil Short were implemented to the latter, some of this would not have happened. Because they particularly talk about the deployment strategy of the police and the security services during by-elections or elections in general. That was not followed through. We were all in this country. We saw how it sort of was rubbish and it was binned. So if that has been followed through, some of these things that we saw would not have happened. It is on this line that I'll urge His Excellency, the President, John Dramani Mahama, to take a look again at the Ayawaso West Wugon recommendations to see if some of them are implementable today so that we forestall such a thing in future.
Ishak,
yes.
First of all, let me say better luck next time.
Okay.
And what does this outcome mean to you? What have you been thinking? What have been your thoughts since yesterday? Having watched the event, the outcome, you look at the vote difference. What's been going through your mind?
Thank you very much. After election of this nature takes place, it's usually customarily for somebody to say congratulations. Unfortunately, I'm going to withhold my congratulations to this lady.
Why?
I am not going to validate this particular win. Why am I saying so? I've refused to congratulate her for a number of reasons. Allow me to borrow a slogan from Iran and their response to Israeli aggression, Operation True Promise. Why is the slogan Operation True Promise relevant to our discussion? If you look at City News, on 1st February 2019, City News quoted President Mahama. President Mahama said, I want to sound a caution that NDC has a revolutionary route, and when it comes to unleashing violence, no one can beat us to that record. This was a statement from President Mahama. And Operation True Promise was visited in the good people of Ghana yesterday. That this was the kind of violence that President Mahama said the NDC has got a history of it. They've got a revolutionary past. And when it comes to unleashing violence, no one can beat them to their record. We agree with the President Mahama. Yes, we saw your true promise. Now that you have become president, we saw the violence that was unleashed in the good people of Ablekuma. Look, how can somebody congratulate somebody on outcome of this process? Is that how democracy is practiced? How can you get a true and fair view of what people really want to vote when you start with violence? And people complain about the number of people who came out to vote. Who could, in their own right, man, come out to vote under these conditions? Policemen assaulting people, NDC hooligans assaulting people. And then senior here, I'm sorry, making reference to the past. A party that has told the good people of Ghana that the past had been bad and that they were prepared to change and reset the system. And when we see violence of this nature, you are making reference to the past. In other words, you have called the good people of Ghana that you are going to change the way we have always done things. It seems Ghanaians agree with you that the past has not been good. And therefore, we want a fresh start. And the fresh start comes with power. And when they give you the power, you are visiting people with violence. And then you come to justify it by making reference to Ayawaso Wagon. I mean, how can you do that? So I cannot congratulate this lady in the right sense. And what is surprising is that, aside the police officer who they promised they would do something about it, we don't know whether they will actually do something. No arrest has been made. Not even a single arrest has been made. It is not surprising. Some of these things were captured on video. No single arrest has been made. Again, I know some of the responsible will be that, but in the past, no arrest has not been made. But what happened to research?
The Interior Minister has said it publicly. I'm talking about the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso.
Yes.
Sorry, for
Asawasi,
sorry.
Okay.
That's Muntaka Mubarak. He said it publicly that government will investigate what happened yesterday, and everybody or anybody who is found culpable will be called to order.
Again, they are promising in a true democracy where law and order is working, immediate arrest would have been made. People have been caught on camera. Even if they hadn't made arrests on the grounds, early this morning we should have had news of arrests being made. And when we say that, some people ask, how do we know some of the people who were attacking were not MPP members? What is wrong with arresting MPP members? If indeed they are MPP members, pick them up. If they are NDC members, pick them up. What is wrong? The guy who assaulted the journalist, are you saying they don't know his identity? What stopped the police from arresting that particular guy?
But I just read a statement.
Who were
what the police had done so far. He's been interdicted.
Not the police.
Officer,
no,
the one
that was
assaulted.
the first journalist. The second journalist who was slapped in the eye.
So your question, what has happened to
what has happened? We saw the police leader. I understand he is actually a police commander of Adenta Police. Okay. The second police, no, it wasn't actually a policeman who slapped the lady. It was a member of the public. My question is, why is that person, nothing has been heard about that person? It is for this reason that I agree with the former vice president. So far, what I've been shown is that there's lack of political will to do something about it. Again, they are giving out their usual promises. And I keep reminding my good friends in the NDC that talk is cheap. Action is what we need. We will do this, we will do that, we will do that. This is talk. You could have done something immediately for us to then agree that your promise is coming to fruition at some point. So I agree with the former vice president is that if nothing is done because of lack of political will, a future MPP government will have no mercy for such people who have visited with violence. Because crime have no expiry date. If you have committed crime today, and then they ignore you because of your affiliation with the NDC, a future MPP government will not have mercy for you. And it doesn't matter the person party affiliations. And again, when President Akufo-Addo came to Ghanaians that we were having problem with vigilantism. Why is the NDC still having a vigilante group that is visiting violence on people? Because from what I know, those groups have been proscribed. But it just seemed to have kept them. So it is really, really a problem. I'm not going to congratulate this lady because this wasn't an outcome of a democratic process. This was an outcome of a violent process because they are bent on getting two-thirds majority in parliament, whereby some of them ridiculously suggested that they could technically turn a man to a woman with this kind of majority in parliament. There is not going to be a legitimate decision that can be made in parliament with the outcome of this election. That lady, if they add it to to their numbers, any outcome of a decision made in this parliament is illegitimate.
All right.
Because that is not a democratic outcome.
Okay.
This was a violent outcome, and the good people of Ghana will not accept it.
Okay.
And we, the MPP, are happy to lead that charge.
Okay. All right. So let me say
Can I quickly respond to something?
Nanea Sapong has also joined us. Nanea Sapong is an aide to Alachere Manteng. Alachere Manteng is one of the formidable political figures we have in this country. He is the founder and leader of the Movement for Change. His political aide is here. Nanea, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. It's always glad to have you join us.
Glad to see you.
Yeah. I hope you're doing very well. Yeah, it's been a while.
Started getting more.
Oh well, me and you. No, but you and I, you saw the boat that brought me to work today. Yes, I came with boat. Yes.
Morning to my colleagues.
Good morning.
As well, he's smiling because he owes me something.
Yes. Please get closer to the microphone.
Oh, yes. IB is smiling a lot because he owes me something.
Very true.
Oh, I see.
He's our brother.
Please spill the beans.
Yes. We're just praying and hoping that he come back home.
IB.
Okay. All right. Nana.
Yes.
You saw what happened yesterday.
Yes.
You also know about the outcome. What's been going through your mind?
I want to say good morning to my fellow citizens who are watching. And thank you to you and your producer for inviting us. And greetings from the Afra Franto family is Alan John Kojo Tremonton and to all of us. If we in the Movement for Change yesterday issued a statement to condemn the electoral violence that occurred yesterday. Now, we actually condemned it in totality, all the incidents that had occurred. We're of the view that it was just 19 polling stations. And for that matter, there should have been absolute peace. It should have been violence-free. And the people or the electorates within the 19 polling stations should have been able to vote without any interference. And so we actually issued a statement yesterday to condemn it in totality. But before I go on, I would want to use the opportunity to congratulate Rabna Oben. Is she Fanti?
Yeah, she's Fanti.
Because
in fact, I heard the name. In fact, Nana Usui, who is the MPP's parliamentary candidate, kept talking, asking her to go back to her hometown.
Okay. So but of course, Ghana. I'm an Ashanti-born Dagomba boy. Yeah. One day, when I decide not to go to Bekwai, I can contest Tamale Central, Tamale North, Tamale South without any interference.
Once you meet the requirements of the law.
I meet the requirements. We still have a house in Tamale. I was born and bred there. I did all my schooling.
You speak Dagbani?
Very well. I speak Dagbani. In fact, I speak Dagbani than the Dagombas. And they know.
Really?
Yes.
I have no idea.
I can testify.
Oh,
And I know
you speak Mampurole.
He speaks Mampurole
Well,
and he speaks Dagbani too.
Dagbani and Mampurole, they are not languages. They are accents.
Okay.
But I don't know for some
It's just like
reason we
Fanti.
say they are languages.
Yeah.
It's not like Fanti and Ashanti. No, they are much closer than that. It's just an accent.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So any speaker of Dagbani should easily understand Mampurole.
Of course.
And the vice versa.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
But we have this phenomenon of the Mamprese. Most Mamprese understand everything in Dagbani.
Oh.
But the Gombe sometimes don't understand some particular part of Mamprese.
Oh.
So those of us, we are almost at the border with the Gombes.
Okay.
So everything of my language they understand. But if somebody is from Nalilgo area,
yes, those ones are
other
very
areas,
typical.
Yes.
No,
They struggle to understand.
They struggle to
thank you.
understand. So.
Yes.
So as I was saying, that one doesn't hold water.
Right.
You understand? Especially when you are in a constituency like Ablekuma North, Ayawasu West Wogan. There are some constituencies that you need not to come from those areas. And so we will congratulate her, and then we wish her all the best as she prepares herself to take the seat. Moro, we would use this opportunity to call on the IGP to immediately have a security meeting to review the electoral security strategy.
Okay.
Yesterday exposed the strategy. Of course, he came to meet the security strategy that was put in place, because I believe, and I'm of the view that it was the same security strategy which was used by Dampare in the ended 2024 elections. That was repeated, and it exposed the loopholes within that particular security strategy. I am not a security expert, but I do not have to be an expert to review or pass commentary on this when you see from the footages what actually occurred. I think that there are some of the police personnel who should be withdrawn from some of these events and activities when they are being done. They have their list, they've seen some of the footages, and they need to take action. If you look at some of the videos, you would see things happening and you would see policemen stand aloof, just looking on. And you see, when it happens this way and you would want to pass commentary, the lies they will tell you is that you do not understand security strategy. You don't understand what we're standing there to do. This is a lie. You don't spew lies like this.
But you don't understand security strategy, do you? You're not a security.
Do I need to be a doctor to understand that I have pain in my system? Do I need to know how to use the gun to understand that a bullet can kill?
Some things are common sense.
Some things are common sense. It's just like what happened in Kumasi when the fire tender was packed on not being used, nothing. And then they came to lie to us that we did not understand the strategy they were using to fight the fire. You see the fire burning. The tender was packed, no water in it. And you come to tell us that it was a strategy. My brother, let us call the spade a spade.
The point is, whatever security strategy
has failed, we need to review it. It failed woefully. And the two political parties also have failed Ghanaians over the past 30 years. For the past 30 years. Are we not ashamed of ourselves that we have been practicing and boasting that we are the beacon of democracy in the entire of Africa? And just for 19 polling stations, we could not come to a consensus to have this elections yesterday without violence. And they would sit and they would throw stones at each other and tell us history. Do we repeat bad history? We read about history to make progress. We read history to improve. We do not repeat history in its bad taste and clap hands for ourselves. No, IB was making reference to some of the incidences by JDM. I wrote a statement here. He talked about the fact that JDM, His Excellency
JDM's
John
comments about
Dramani Mohammed's comment. Hey,
about the NDC having
what
some
have they done to my
revolutionary
news?
past.
Yes, about the NDC's revolutionary past.
Yeah.
And then I asked myself, do we have to do this? Brian Champon, do you remember?
Yes.
He says that they would win power at all costs. Critics can go burn the sea. There is this, my classmate, Salam Mustafa. You remember the statement he made?
Yeah.
Salam Mustafa said that they will not sacrifice the elections on the altar of peace.
Yes, he said that. That was prior to the 2024 election.
Prior to the 2024
We're
election.
talking about the youth organizer of the NPP.
The youth organizer of the NPP. Why are we doing this? Because, you see, they have all been perpetrators, and I'm careful with my choice of words, of violence, electoral violence in this country. You talked about Ayawa Suwes Wogan. Most times we forget about what happened in Techiman. You remember what happened in Techiman?
Another dastardly act, eh?
I mean, you can't think. Moro, this should be a disgrace. This should be an embarrassment. We should feel ashamed that at any point in time we having elections as a people, then there would be some pocket of violence. Now people are thinking about what is going to happen in Akwatia.
And there are people who actually genuinely scared.
Have you been reading the social media from yesterday?
Yeah.
And how many of these people would be present there with their families? And it is time that we take personal security also serious. On one of our
that's going to be a recipe for disaster.
On one of our platforms yesterday, I posed a question when I saw Howard Kumson's first interview being present at Ablikuma North. I said, what is she doing there? and people started lambasting me. Why am I asking that question? Is she not Ghanaian? I said, that is not your constituency in the first place. Secondly, you have a history. You have a history not to allow others into your constituency. So what are you doing in other people's constituency? Number two, if you looked at her demeanor, it meant that she was ready for anything. Personal security is very important. Listen, Moro, there are certain places I will not go. The police cannot protect you. The laws cannot protect you. Before the law and the police will come, the damage and the harm has been done. I had to take my time to look at some of the videos, the footages last night. That was when I noticed that when she was under the protection of the police, she actually pulled out a pepper spray.
Yes, she did.
And used it on the crowd. What is the size of the pepper spray?
But that's a personal protection, isn't it?
She was under the protection of the police. If you looked at the footages very well yesterday, at that time, the people had not launched the attack. I don't know if you still have it.
That's the video.
It was after she used the pepper spray that the gentleman who did a Chinese program in I don't know if it's Japanese. Did you watch Journey to the West when we were kids?
Yes. Journey to the West.
I don't know if the guy was part of the producer.
Yes.
That was the time the gentleman jumped. We're looking for people to do high jump in Ghana. We are not getting. But yet we get people to do this kind of high jump. It was after the use of the pepper spray. So it meant that she didn't even trust the protection she was getting from the police. So who triggered what? And so, in fact, it forced me to look at the laws of the use of pepper spray in Ghana.
But you know what surprises me? Before you talk about the use of pepper spray, why does the police look on when these things are happening? What do they fear?
And that is why I'm saying that there is a need for us to review. You see, the police are, by law, supposed to be friends of the community. Yes. They are supposed to be protectors of the community and the people. They are supposed to be people who prevent crime from occurring. You understand? And so that is why they would always tell you that even the ammunitions that we use, we account for it, unlike the military. But when there is something like this happening, we should have the police using other means of force to prevent these things. We should have another unit of the police that is armed, that is ready for combat. When the people refuse to adhere to the laws and procedures that are set for the place. You and I know that pepper spray falls under the assault and offensive weapons. I mean, lawyer is here. That's section 86 of the Act 29.
Okay.
It falls under it.
Which act is it? The criminal offenses and the
lawyer. Lawyer, he's a lawyer. Act 29, of course.
Act 29.
Okay, I'm surrounded by lawyers.
Criminal and Other Offences Act.
Yes.
All right.
So the section 86 talks about the assault and offensive weapons.
Yes.
And you and I know that there is a definition for offensive weapons. And so if you're looking at the definition of offensive weapons, it is one that can cause harm.
Yes.
Pepper spray can cause harm.
Yes.
So it falls under it. Does she have the right or the legal authority to hold pepper spray at the point?
But do you need a permit?
That is why I'm asking.
Okay, you want to know.
It's an offensive weapon.
Yes.
So if it is an offensive weapon, it means that you need some clearance to be able to hold it, especially when you are going to a public place like this. Then it reminded me of the CJ's, the ongoing Tokono case, when she said that she's always being searched and she does not understand. Yeah. This is a former minister and a former MP going into a public place holding pepper spray. And that big madam, big woman, big man thing must stop. If she was searched, I don't think that she would have had that pepper spray on her. Now, I am assuming, thinking for the people, that when she put her hand into her pocket, what came up the mind of the people was that she was going to pull up a pistol, a sidearm, because she has a history of it. And the people would also do whatever they can to prevent it. So you see, there was a quick reaction to her actions and inactions. But at the end of the day, it falls back to the police. It falls back to the security. It falls back to the electoral process and rules that was set for the day.
Okay.
Moro, yesterday wasn't so much of a good day for our country. It exposed us so bad. And I do not want us to blame the people. If the people were prevented from coming there, because there were barricades.
Yeah.
How were they able to cross when the police were there? 19 polling stations? That was so sad.
Theophilus, let me ask you this. How do you explain or how do you respond to the claim, as Ishak has also made here on the show, that what happened yesterday was purely a tit-for-tat incident?
Well, just a quick one. I just forgot to add. Well, just very... I read the statement by His Excellency, the former Vice President.
Right. Bawumia,
and I was sad. I think IB mentioned it.
Right.
I have sent a picture to your producer. I want him to just project it for me. If he's watching.
Derek, what picture is this? If you can project it. What do you want to use that picture for?
I want IB to
Derek,
see it if
can we
he
have a look at the
remembers.
picture? This picture.
Do you remember this gentleman?
Oh, okay.
That is Zach.
Yeah.
He's your countryman. He's a Mamprole.
Okay.
And he was the regional coordinator of Alan Tremantin during the MPP internal delegates conference. When we were doing the super delegates, this was what was done to him.
Coordinator for where? Which place?
For Upper East, Northeast.
Northeast region. Okay.
Baumia's hometown.
Uh-huh.
This was what was done to this gentleman.
On
Till
the day
today,
of the voting?
on the day of the super delegates.
I was in Wale grounds.
On the day
I
of
didn't
the
hear of any violence at all.
You didn't hear? You wouldn't hear.
I was in
You wouldn't
Wale
hear.
that
He's
day.
referring to Upper East. You were
No, Northeast.
No,
Oh,
he said
Northeast.
Northeast.
Everybody in Ghana heard of this.
Yeah.
This was one of the reasons.
You mean in Wale? I was in Wale.
I'm talking about the super delegates. Where did you hold the super delegates?
Okay.
The same place where Kennedy Japan's agents were locked in the classroom.
Okay.
This is vice president's. Until today, Baumia has not issued a statement. He was the chairman of the police council. We never were able to apprehend the people who did this. This guy almost lost his eye. We spent so much money for his eye to be restored.
But that's true. But else upon.
So you see,
but you have that's
what I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about the hypocrisy of these two political parties.
No, I understand what you say, but I'm saying that you espoused a certain principle at the beginning of the show.
Yes,
that principle is that you do not repeat something which is bad.
No, I'm not saying it was good to have been repeated, but I am talking about the fact that you issue a one-sided statement.
No, I understand you, but what the point I'm trying to make to you is that yes, Baumia is not on record to have condemned what happened to Zach. So we say it's bad, right? It was wrong.
Have you read his statement?
You mean Dr. Mahmoud?
Yes.
No, we've actually even played a video. So you mean your statement?
No, Baumia's statement.
No, I haven't seen it, but I've only seen the video
of
where
him.
He was condemning what happened yesterday.
Have you analyzed
everything that he said?
The things he said.
Oh, well, I have. But the point I'm trying to make is this. No, what I'm trying to say is this: that
I have projected this because I wanted him to condemn it in totality.
In totality. Well, but if you listen to
as a former chairman of the police council,
if you listen to his commentary, what I think he was seeking to say, or not what I think, but what I heard him say, was that we cannot tolerate violence in our politics. And then, of course, he went from there and condemned the present government and so on and so forth. But he generally talked about, let's not accept this in our body politics. He said that. That's how he started. In fact, Derek, if you can play that video, we need to do this. Let's quickly do this. Can we play the Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia video briefly? I think it's about just a minute or so. Derek, let's play the Mahmoud Bawumia video. Let's listen to exactly what he said, and let's make some content analysis of what he said, please.
Recipe for disaster if every political party has to raise their own army to give them protection during an election. But this is the message that is being sent. What we have to be clear about is that the people who have perpetrated these acts have been caught on video. I call on the president to take action, and all the people in charge of this country, the administration, to take action to bring the perpetrators to book. This is the only way we can deter this in the future. But we have seen them, and let me assure them that should they not be brought to book, we will not forget. They will be brought to book no matter how long it takes. We will not forget what has happened. We want peace in this country. This is not the democracy that Ghana wants to see. And so it is very important that these sorts of terrible acts are not encouraged. Thank you very, very much.
Yes.
One of the council, of the police council.
Right.
You do not tell Ghanaians that no matter how long it takes, you will not forget. You will not forget as who? As a political party. It means that in 20 years, if you would come, you would repeat what has been done. Number two, When he started, I was expecting him to have actually stated that when I was chairman of the police council and there were issues of electoral violence, we were able to arrest the perpetrators. We prosecuted them and then they were punished. All right? But then you just don't come to tell us that the president should take action. I'm just being it should be in totality. You understand me?
I get
because you don't shoot yourself in the foot when you are calling for peace and telling Ghanaians that you will not forget.
All right.
It is just the same. It's not different from what Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo said when he mentioned all die be die.
Right.
He said,
you took the words out of my mouth, man.
he meant prosecution. Will not forget. If they are not prosecuted, if they are not prosecuted, if no action is taken to prosecute them, will not forget. He meant prosecution.
No, because this statement was repeated by executives of the party and by some party hooligans. And I asked on one of our pages on the platforms, I asked a question, a critical question. I said that probably people do not understand what violence is. They do not understand what violence can do. I was in Tamale when the Kunkumba war was going on. I was in Tamale when the chieftaincy conflict started. If they know what these conflicts and this violence can do, they will not make some of these statements they are making.
Okay. Was it a case of you do me, I do you?
Moro, it's difficult. It's difficult to condemn the hypocrisy of my brother Ishak, former Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia, and the light-thinking ones without sounding tit for tat. And as my brother said here, come on, where were they when Akufo-Addo told us, all die be die? My tree is not good. But he said, Atiwa, ye chiromu niyama kakra. You forgot those things. What are you talking about today? You are here talking about the fact that they will not forget. A party that today is condemning what is happening today is telling us that tomorrow we will do same. They don't have the moral right to even condemn. That is why, if you look at the way former President, Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia talked, it was muted. Play the audio again. Watch how his demeanor and everything. It cannot be done. Look, I want to also add here that my brother disappointed me that we know a very cardinal principle in law. When you want to read a document or a text, read it as a whole. That is very cardinal. And if you allow me to read what His Excellency, the President, said about the violence, he said that, quoting from where he said, it is just that we midwifed the country's Ishak, when you were talking, learn this simple. When you were talking, we were all quiet. We were all quiet. Okay. You have the opportunity. Listen, I want to sound a caution that NDC has a revolutionary route. And when it comes to unleashing violence, no one can beat us to it. It is just that we midwife the country's democracy. And that is why we must be the first to respect it. That is why we are acting as a party that is docile and respecting the rule of law. So all he's saying is that, look, when you throw pebbles at us, we can throw stones. But where we have reached today, we are wise and advising ourselves that there is no way we are going to throw stones at you. You see, if MPP goes along this tangent, I can tell you, they will be in opposition for a long time. Take a step back. NDC is completely rebranded. There may be topsy-turvy situations of one or two people maybe losing their jobs, etc. But go to almost all the jobs. Most of the MPP guys who were appointed are still in their job. The tit for tat is not there. I want to tell you today, it is sad what you have seen yesterday. Maybe it's a tip of the iceberg of the anger in NDC supporters not being allowed to repeat what MPP did to us. They are being controlled every time. The legacy of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is what we want to protect and chart a new course. So they cannot come here and be saying this. Fast forward, senior brother says something that Hawa Kumson, she has a history of firing guns. I would have thought her mere appearance there, she would have been searched. Her mere appearance, she would have been searched for any weapon at all. And look at it. After the incident, they started to play the gender card. A woman being attacked, as if a man can be attacked. That is where they started. You listen to Miracle Sabwaji telling us that the lady was fighting for her life at the hospital. Few hours later, the lady we saw videos of her being discharged and going home. Why do you have to garnish this thing? Let us face it. Watch the videos carefully. Even the national organizer or deputy national organizer of MPP that appeared to have been attacked,
Lloyd.
Yes, you will see that she was poking some people and instigating them. And when they try to react, that is it. Why do you have to do all that? Go observe elections. Everything was moving on smoothly. Listen to the first video from, watch the first video from Hawa. She said that they are being intimidated, but they will not allow themselves to be intimidated. You see, it's always good to be bold, but sometimes it's better to be a coward.
Okay.
For the sake of the situation. So what we saw yesterday, yes, we all condemn it. But look at what the government spokesperson said. He said we all condemn it. We'll work with all the relevant stakeholders to address what we saw yesterday. Okay. But for my brother and like-minded thinking MPP guys to think that this is one way, this is the other way, he said that the election will not be legitimized. Senior, he mentioned the situation of Northeast. You are good at Googling. I'm surprised you couldn't Google. If you Google it, you see Alan's man. That is the video where you see Untumi saying, why you are the one to talk.
Yes.
That was the video where you see that Untumi, because they were condemning it. That guy, they just show you the picture. You deny its existence. What are we talking about? You should be. You don't have the moral courage to be able to lecture us on peace, because where you are coming from, you have not demonstrated any form of peace. Much as we condemn this, you shouldn't be the ones teaching us or teaching Ghana today how to handle peace. And to think about it, I will send a word to his former Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia. Rebrand yourself.
Okay. Now, let me do this. I think that the focus of the conversation has been on the violence, which is understandable. But we also need to look at the lead up to the elections and how the two political parties prepared or did not prepare. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Ebusiafo ye mama kwaba eba Children's Palace. Nkwala nyema nyina fie enye. Yonkwala ntade mani mema nyina ntare nyina wase. Yonkwala shoes, yonkwala duane, yonkwala wipes, yonkwala diapers, yonkwala toys, baby coat. In fact, bibia opama umanyina obenye biwa ase.
Located at East Legon Hills, Nana Krum KFC. Contact us on 059 6377 172. Children's Palace. Happy children, happy fashion. See you soon. Bye-bye.
I'm here at Mycom JA Limited to show you the Promethean Active Panel, the ultimate tool for corporate institutions, hospitals, schools, and your home. With its crystal clear 4K display and an unbreakable screen with an ultra responsive touch technology. This isn't just a screen, it's a game changer. For corporate institutions and in schools, this active panel can be used for Zoom meetings and PowerPoint presentation. And oh, your homes are not left behind. You can use it to watch all your favorite programs by just connecting to a Fire Stick, and you can get access to channels like Netflix and Amazon, and voila, you are in there. At Mycom JA Limited, we provide you with the best quality products from the United States of America with 1-year warranty. You can get an
No matter how far you run away, you always come back to where you started.
Tortured, mutilated, fingers cut off.
I can lend you the money. My boss believes in giving players another chance.
You don't know what to do if you don't have the money to pay back. Come and listen to me.
Sir, it's done. Good. 1 week. That is all you got to pay up.
You've been gambling.
Unfortunately, we're still chasing shadows. He's clearing the board to make way for something bigger.
How could you do this to us, God?
Who's there?
I can fix this.
You're live on Inside Pages here on Metro Television. We're having a conversation on the back of the article of the Ablekuma North elections, where the MPP's Irabna Orbin won as against Nana Ekuya Owusu Efriye of the MPP, who lost by some 600 and something vote margin. We're trying to look at the violence aspect of yesterday's event and what we can do going forward. Because what we do know is that election is essentially supposed to be people going to queue or not queue, cast their vote and go home and continue with their normal lives. But here, it appears that almost all the elections we've had in this country, there will always be some pockets of violence somewhere. It's just unacceptable. It's totally unacceptable. So, but let's look at the preparatory aspect of things. Did the NPP do their best in terms of preparing for these elections? And how about the NDC? Could they have done better, or they've done what they could have possibly done under the circumstances? So I'll come back to you, Ishak. I know you have some rebuttals to make. Okay. You can use that. You can use 2-3 minutes to make those rebuttals, and then we can look at the preparations. I mean, if you have a situation where your General Secretary holds a press conference and says the NPP is not participating or is not contesting these elections, and gives reasons or citing the illegitimacy or the illegality and the impropriety of the processes leading up to the elections, and then goes ahead to say that, you know, the party would not sort of endorse the illegality of the entire process, and that's why they wouldn't want to participate. And then the next day, and interestingly, the candidate was sitting there when the General Secretary was making all these pronouncements. She said nothing. And then the following day, she decided to go on her own way. I mean, she decided to defy the orders of the party, and then, you know, she got to contest. And then you had party bigwigs joining on the field in flagrant disregard and disrespect of what the party's General Secretary has said. How do you explain what happened?
Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, in terms of rebuttal, Sina just accused me that one of the cardinal principles in law that if you want to interpret the document, read the document in total, no aspect of it. Then he conveniently went and took part of the statement. So he's not even following his own advice. But then he misunderstood what I was trying to do. I wasn't interpreting a document. I was simply taking part of what the president said and related to what has actually happened on the ground. That yes, we have seen their violent past. It's been unleashed. So this was not to interpret a document, was to illustrate the violence that we see And that now we understood the president operation through promise. That was the point I was making. Again, my good friend here has also misunderstood the vice president. The vice president made it very clear that there is clear evidence. We have seen video footage of people attacking people, unleashing violence. Please prosecute them. But if you fail to do so, crime has no expiry date. When we come, we would prosecute them. That's what the vice president was saying. So there's no way you can twist it that the vice president said if you do not prosecute, when we come, we are going to unleash violence like the NDC. No. The vice president's record is very, very clear. He has done something first in the history of the country. By midnight, when he realized he had lost the election, he called the President Mahama and made it very clear. And the following statement, he said he did so because he didn't want to put the life of the country in danger. That was why he was doing it. So if somebody can do this, I mean, and they have commended him throughout the country. Up to now, President Mahama has not congratulated Akufo-Addo for winning the last election. He hasn't. President Mahama has not. So this is a democratic statesman. There's no doubt about the credential of the vice president when it comes to democracy. So don't deliberately mislead the public. But having said so, I'll now face your question.
How do you respond to the question that Daniel Sapon raises about why the vice president failed to condemn the violence which was unleashed on Razak or Zak, but has found it convenient to condemn that which was unleashed on some Ghanaians, and of course some MPP supporters yesterday. Where lies the consistency?
I didn't ask whether the vice president has condemned it or not. I'm still trying to get some research. I've not found some evidence yet. I promise you next time I'll come back.
So you're not fully briefed on that?
But knowing his nature, I'll be surprised if he hasn't condemned violence of any nature. As I sit here, my approach is that violence of any form is wrong. It doesn't matter wherever it's coming from. And then even the Ablekuma, if it turned out an MPP member was violent, prosecute him. We urge the president to prosecute him. It doesn't matter, as I said, it doesn't matter the person's political colors. We want a violence-free elections so that the outcome can be legitimate.
All right.
Okay. So what was your second question?
Sure, but the other thing you were talking about had to do with which you just finished explaining what you said earlier about the president, John Mahama's commentary about the NDC having this revolutionary route. And you've explained that based on what Theophilus said.
Yes.
Now, I'm talking about preparation.
Yes.
The MPP's preparations towards this election appear to be very poor.
It wasn't poor. You have to remember that the time frame set by the EC was very, very short. They say that. The decision was very quick. I think within a week, they said, let's vote, or a week and a half.
But the two political parties had the same time to prepare.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yes.
But you have to remember that there was one who believed that he has really won it. And if I have won it, why give somebody a second chance? And let me explain. Against, you see, there's a cardinal principles in law that nobody should benefit from their own wrong. There's a famous case in jurisprudence we use, Palmer versus New York, whereby a will was made and then to benefit somebody. And that person killed the will maker, his grandfather. You see that? And the law says if you are mentioned, if something is willed to you, you have to benefit. That's law. But there's a principle that was used to take away the benefit from him, that you cannot benefit from your own wrong. So the outcome of the election was very clear, that the MPP candidate had won. What did they do? The NDC hooligans and other people mobilized, they demonstrate. One of them went and burned down the facility that was keeping this particular results, together with the documents. The Electoral Commission is very clear. Bossman made it very clear. Why is arrest not being made? So over there, we know the NDC went and then destroyed this particular things. Having said that, the Electoral Commission had been very, very consistent. The only outstanding thing that they were having was 3 outstanding police stations. They had gone to court in a sworn affidavit and made it very clear only 3 was outstanding. They had gone to Parliament and repeated those statements that only 3 was outstanding. And they then took a bizarre decision that 19. Nobody can understand such a decision. This is why this Electoral Commission, if they think their reverse gear was meant to win sympathy from this NDC, they will not remove them. They should think again. So I think it just...
But that's not possible, is it?
Well, whatever the decision, I think this was a bizarre decision. Okay. Perhaps they should have gone to court. A court that has made an order that the police should provide security for them to finish the coalition. The same police have refused to provide security for the coalition to complete. So if you have this court order and you want a variation, it would have been a good idea to return to court for further direction. If you think there is a problem some of them said there was a problem in validating something, whatever it was, go back to court for further direction. You do not make a decision on your own. We live in a country that purports to function on the rule of law. And rule of law doesn't mean Electoral Commission making decisions. That goes contrary to what a court order is. This was the principal complaint of the MPP. And it was right that we go to court to put an injunction to it so that the process would complete. So this was where I think the High Court had made a terrible mistake by not placing an injunction on these particular elections. Because the substantive issue would need to be decided. And getting an injunction should be an easy process. A very well-known case called the American Cinema case provides guidance within the common law as to how injunctions are obtained. And the first most important thing is there a serious issue to be tried in the substantive case? So that would have been the first thing the court would look at. And here we can easily resolve it. Yes, there's a serious issue to be tried because we want to determine substantively who won the seat. Then the next one would be where the balance of convenience lies. The balance of convenience is about preserving the status quo. If you don't injunct it, then a new election takes place. Somebody would have accrued new rights. If somebody accrued new rights and later if a substantive decision is made and they say somebody else different won, can you see the problem? So this court decision was just wrong. The Electoral Commission decision was wrong. So MPP then took a decision. Are we going to validate this flawed process? One, somebody is going to benefit from their own wrong. If you have lost election, wait for the next 4 years to have another chance. If you take the law into your own hands, go and burn the facility. And then you then be given immediate opportunity again to have a go before the end of 4 years.
No problem. So why did your candidate defy?
I will explain that. Give me the opportunity, I will explain that. So if you do that, you are validating a process whereby people will take the law into your own hands. Whenever you realize that you are losing an election, bend down the documentation, and you'll be given another opportunity. Mm-hmm. It's not a democracy we want to build. So I understand why the NPP took that principle decisions. And the laws of Ghana is also very clear. That's why you are coming from a political party to contest an election. You also have your personal rights. And NPP motto is very clear. We are a party with motto of development and freedom. So while we do things collectively together, we need to recognize individual rights and freedoms. And it is within her right to contest.
But the party...
And I think the party shouldn't have taken that right from her. And she decided that she was going to exercise her right to continue.
But your own party's constitution is also very clear.
Yes.
About not defying party orders and directives.
No, the whole party constitution does not trump our ultimate constitution. Right. So if the party constitution is not in compliance with the 1992 constitution, I think the 1992
will be declared null and void.
Trumps.
It must be consistent with.
Well, maybe we need to reform that part. But I believe that her rights here, her individual liberties, yes.
It trumps.
Yes, her individual liberty trumps our constitution. because it's in line with our 1982 constitution.
So how then do you explain a situation? So does the same principle apply to persons who decided to go and support her, to campaign for her, party persons?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there was no an order that nobody should support her. It's just that the party itself, out of principle, will not validate the process. So it wasn't like they are doing something wrong. It is a principle stand the party has taken that they are not going to validate the process. So because this is a flawed process.
I get that, but I'm saying that doesn't the participation of the candidate and the support of the party's members to the same process.
No, individual members.
No, that makes I'm saying that the party's members, individual, because they're members of a party.
Yeah.
Doesn't that then make nonsense of everything that the General Secretary has said? That's my question.
No, it doesn't. What the General Secretary is doing is a principle.
Because you would have observed.
Yes.
With some, I would say, with some curiosity.
Yeah.
Or some level of curiosity. Why the General Secretary was not there?
Because he is the face of the party. He's the face of the party. And once that decision is made, I know principles are usually difficult for people to comprehend, but a principle stand of the party may not align with individual members'
You've left the General Secretary
activities.
in the cold. That's what you've done.
How do we leave her in the cold?
You've made him look like he's not in charge of the party. He's not that respected. He's not regarded. You know, he's not that.
I am surprised. You seem to have bought into the NDC argument. With the NDC, as you can see, they are from a revolutionary past. The only reason why they embraced democracy was simple because President Raleigh was forced in 1992 into democracy. They have never believed in democratic principles. So democratic principle doesn't mean that you have to use the party machinery to deny the rights of individual members.
You don't think
like that.
Make your General Secretary look bad?
The NDCs do that because once they have taken the decision, individual liberty and freedom doesn't matter. They will trample upon you. We don't do that. We can still take a principled decision, but then allow members the freedom to pursue their individual rights. And that's exactly what the party have done.
Then when the party says, I am not contesting, what does it mean?
So the party itself, the party machinery itself, they will not even engage with the process. But because you will validate the process.
He was there. He's the national organizer of the party.
Who?
Nana Boakye was there.
I didn't see him. I think I saw
Salam Mustafa was there.
Yes, I saw a video of Salam. But I didn't see Nana B.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was there. Yes, he was there. In fact, that's where he.
But as I say, individuals were campaigning their own individual.
Yeah, but the political party is made up of the political party is made up of individuals. Without the individuals, there's no political party. So let's not make the whole political party argument look as though it is some how do you call it, something sitting somewhere. The political party is made up of individuals.
So for you, it would have been okay if the party had banned every individual member.
They don't have to specifically say that. Once the party says, I am not contesting, so shall it be. You're not supposed to be there. If you're there, it means that you do not respect the party's decision.
What I saw was we were caught between...
IB probably has not been in the party for a very long time.
I've been in the party for very long.
Since when?
Since I was MPP secretary at Sunyani Polytechnic, 1998.
1998.
Before President Kufuor even won power.
We did the Congress at the Catholic Church there.
Yes.
But when he left, there were a lot of changes that had happened.
Don't bring this excuse. I was always attending MPP meetings in the UK.
Let us help you.
The point I want to make is that sometimes, you see, members were caught between a rock and a hard place. Okay. The rock was that upholding a principle standard, we are not going to validate this. But even if we then take that principle standard, we are not going to validate it. We're going to hand over a supermajority to a party that comes from a revolutionary party that doesn't believe in democracy.
But what is the definition of validation here?
That evil. Listen, in apartheid South Africa, there were judges who were against the system, but they were still part of working for the system to destroy it from within. You can have a principle stand, but nevertheless, you should take part in the process to stop the bigger evil. And the bigger evil was these people having a supermajority.
All right.
So for me, I don't have problem in understanding it.
I don't actually know.
This is a bigger evil.
I don't actually know. Yes.
It's evil for you to have a
Yes, I don't actually know where my brother is coming from. Even without Rabena's victory, the 3 independent candidates in parliament have written that they want to do business.
One of them you are persecuted.
What they want to do, business with NDC.
Okay.
Out of the 3, at least 2 were from NDC stock. The Afram Plains one and the guy from the northern part of Ghana. If you add only one of them, there's the super majority already. So you should leave that. He was talking about validation. I want to ask a simple question, which a yes or no will suffice. Assuming MPP's candidate had won the election last night, will MPP say, you got a wrong victory, go back, we'll wait for another election?
But you are asking too much question. Have you forgotten Nanado?
Yes.
He says he can't work with my own father, Joe Wise.
Yes.
When he was an independent candidate.
Yes.
What happened? Formina,
and
what happened?
When the current second deputy
That's what I'm talking
speaker,
about.
Yes,
Second deputy speaker.
Yes, second deputy speper.
I don't want to work. I can't work with him.
Yes, I think that my brother Ishak is under a wrong apprehension. Let's get it clear.
Okay.
MPP flip-flopped on Ablekumanov.
How?
For sure.
How?
Now, I will give a little bit of legal education here, if you allow me a minute.
Please do.
Now, the order he's talking about was the order made that EC should collate results by 6 January 2025.
True.
It is trite or common knowledge in law that when that date has passed, that order by the court has lapsed, has expired.
Okay.
So from midnight 6 January, which is into 7th January 2025, that order is dead.
Is that what you lawyers call otios?
It's otios. It's dead. So for him...
Ishak, I'm learning some law.
Yes, for him otios, and others to say that there was a court order for which there had to be a variation or going back and seek further a view on the law is not here nor there. It's wrong law.
Okay.
Simple.
Okay.
There was no order. Number 2, they went to court. They filed 2 processes, one for the injunction, one for prohibition and certiorari, to prohibit the Electoral Commission from carrying out with this election and to also quash the decision of the Electoral Commission to carry out this election. Now, in law, if there is another remedy for you that you will get, certiorari will not lie. The remedy they would have gone for is contempt, if you feel that the order of the court is not being obeyed. So that certiorari and prohibition will not see the light of the day. Number 3, he came up with the guidelines for grant of injunction. The first one is, he mentioned whether there is a serious issue to be tried. Others also say whether you have a right at law or at equity to be protected. Number 2, he mentioned that balance of convenience. Balance of convenience just means that who will suffer more when this injunction is granted or not granted. In this current situation, the people of Ablekumanov will suffer more if the injunction is granted, because the more the injunction stays, they will be without representative of somebody in parliament.
And that will be an infringement on their rights.
And
that
that
was why I was asking him.
That will be a constitutional
infringement.
issue.
Yes, I was asking him.
Similar to what happened
Yes,
in South.
and the court stated in National Lottery Authority and Lotto Receivers Association that no court has the ability to stop an act from working. So that court cannot stop that statute from working. No. Okay. So they will look at Rabena's options and that of the whole constituency. Then the question you ask is that, is there another route? He mentioned that somebody would have accrued right. If Rabena wins and they win in the substantive case, there is election petition route.
All right.
That they could have taken.
Okay.
The last one, he said that, look, the court itself says, the last part, which he conveniently didn't mention, is the one that the court actually mentioned. Though.
Okay.
Damages.
All right.
Will you be paid some money that will compensate you? The court says that EC, being part of the executive, will have enough money to be able to pay the MPP lady if she becomes victorious in the main case. So all the odds were against the lady. The injunction could not have been granted.
Okay.
This is basic.
All right.
Then move on. You ask me, how did they flip-flop?
Yes.
They were contesting, they were campaigning in the night, coming during the day, telling us that they don't have anything to do with Ablekuma. No. We had former vice president donating 400,000, Brian Achampon donating 200,000, Kennedy Achampon going there.
$6,400 or $6,500
for police stations or something.
I'm just helping you.
Yes, we heard that Kennedy Achampon was there to play draft with people. I mean, all these guys were campaigning, and you are telling us that they have decided not to contest, and it's a decision that the party has taken. Look, the effect of last night's election is that almost all national executives of MPP will lose the next election. I have said it here. We will come back and discuss it.
Really?
I'm telling you. The effect of you can't lead. They have a famous quote. Now you can't lead a vehicle into a ditch and tell us now that you'll be the one that will take us properly.
Yeah, because there appears to be a lot of anger.
Yes, there's so much anger against them.
If you read what's happening on social media. All right.
So NPP, as I said, take a look at what NDC has done. Proper rebranding. Brand yourself. Be appealing to people. Stop the 1992 type of politics. We are in 2025.
Okay.
That way you have a chance.
I mean, times have changed. All right. So I'll take a short break. I beg you. I'll take a short break.
Very well.
And when I come back, of course, I'll get an air to pass his final brief remarks, and then we can move on to our next topic because we have just 30 minutes. In fact, we have just 25 minutes more to end the show. Now, the next issue we intend to look at is that the United States government has revised its visa reciprocity policy for Ghana. It's limiting the duration number of entries permitted under most non-immigrant visa classifications. And according to the U.S. Department of State, Bureau of Consular Affairs, holders of Class A visas, primarily diplomats and government officials, will continue to receive multiple entry visas with validity ranging from 24 to 60 months. Similarly, K1 visa issued to foreign citizens, a fiancé of a U.S. citizen intending to marry within 90 days of arrival in the United States, and the K2 visa granted to the unmarried dependent child, which is under 21 years of a K1 visa holder, are both single entry visas valid for 6 months period. Now, there are some who are saying that Ghana should reciprocate this policy. There are also some who are saying that, as we've heard government says, they're going to engage the American government to try and reverse this decision. What do we do with it? Should we allow the status quo to remain, or we should go back to the status quo ante? Stay with us.
Manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Tucked between the vibrant energy of Accra and the scenic charm of the Kwabena Hills, our gated community offers the perfect blend of tranquility and accessibility. Welcome to Rehoboth Knightsbridge, where nature meets opportunity. Secure your future with fully serviced plots with well-tarred roads, reliable drainage systems, electricity, and water. Build your dream home in a community that cares for your well-being and safety. Indulge in premium amenities that redefine luxury living: a swimming pool, tennis court, basketball court, sauna and steam in the iconic shopping mall, all within reach. It's more than just a space. It's your sanctuary in the city. Wake up to mountain views, take a jog under palm-lined paths, and experience the perfect balance of city access and natural beauty. Starting at just 450,000 cedis with flexible payment plans. Visit www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com or call or WhatsApp 024-476-4499 or 020-495 0810. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
MGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. MGO Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
All right, so back. This is Inside Pages on the Metro Television. We've been having a very interesting conversation about the Ablekuma North elections, the outcome and lessons learned, and how to move away from the violence that is typically associated with elections in this country. My guests have been trying to proffer some solutions, and we'll see how it goes. But Nane Osapon is here. He's a political aide to the founder and leader of Movement for Change. That's Alan Kojo Chere Manteng. Nanel, there's something you want to say briefly before we move on? Sorry, your microphone is actually off. Yes.
I was trying to interject and interfere when IB was addressing the issues. Number one, the NPP operates by its constitution. All right. Now, per the constitution, the General Secretary has not got the powers to act on his own.
Okay.
Everything the General Secretary has done, would say, or would do, would have to be a decision that is taken by NEC.
Okay.
If you may recall, there was an emergency NEC meeting that was called with regards to this Ablekuma North elections.
Yes.
A decision was taken. The decision was what was communicated by the General Secretary to the public and the party faithfuls. What can be said about it is that it was a bad decision. It was just a bad decision, a decision that did not consider the people of Ablekuma North, a decision that did not consider the candidate, Nana Ekua, a woman who had invested her time, her life, her money in that constituency. They rather looked at the party's small group decision, interest, as to that of the party faithfuls in the constituency called Ablekuma North. It reminded me of the bad policy decision when the then administration decided to collapse our banks. On paper, policy, it might look good, but in reality, can it suffice? That was what we should be looking at. You would take a decision that you won't go into the elections. And you know, when IB was talking about validations and all that, and I asked him, I said, what is the definition of validation? When you want to take such decisions, number one, you have to go into the constituency to find out from the people there what they want.
What they want.
Number two, the person who is directly involved here in the candidate.
What was the level of engagement?
What is the level of engagement with the candidate? You need to seek her opinion. And the combination or the outcome of combining her opinions, her decisions, her interests, and that of the constituency should inform the decision that will be made by NEC. And moreover, I always have said that since President Kufuor handed over this party and some people decided to put it in their pockets, the party has always been controlled by a small group of individuals because of their own selfish interest. Because if they had done due diligence, they would have known that the people wanted to go into these elections. And so you see, there was a crash of the small party group decision and the majority grassroots decision. And that is what made us see what was there. The miscommunication, the misinformation, the misunderstanding in what was being communicated. I mean, we are in the constituency. And no, let's not forget, Ablekuma has been the stronghold of NPP since 2000. It was only in 1996, right? No, sorry, 1992.
Yes, you've been winning it. No, in fact, you've been winning it from 96.
Adam Baku, no, in 92, Adam Baku, Noti, Yabua of NDC.
Okay.
No, because 92 they boycotted.
Exactly.
Elections.
Elections.
That's what I was talking about.
My brother, elections is like, was there elections?
No, there was. I agree with you.
Was there a parliament?
Yes, I agree with you.
Let's move on.
Yes.
So in 92,
yes.
NDC won.
Yes.
In 96, Kwame Battles.
Yes, Kwame Battles, yes.
So since 96,
2004.
Yeah, he and then, I think Equia Free came. Or was it Sheila Battels?
It was
Sheila Battels.
Yeah, the daughter.
No,
it was Equia Free.
No, it was what's the name of this gentleman? The man who
Apia Joe.
He won it twice.
Yes,
and then Sheila Battels, and then Equia Free.
And you see, if you look at the numbers, in 2020, Sheila got 54,544, as against NDC's 29,000. Taking aback, 2016, MPP won by 18,144, as against 11,000. So you see, the numbers were great.
Yeah.
And the numbers have always been great. And so if you have these numbers, in as much as the voter dynamics have changed, and the electorates will now want development, as against just being loyal or faithful to a party, you could not have taken that decision not to venture into that election. 19 polling stations, what were the statistics? Because every party knows per polling station their stronghold. So out of these 19 polling stations, is the MPP trying to tell me that they did enough justice to know that the numbers were not favorable? What was the extent of engagement with the grassroots? These are things and questions that we need to find out.
Okay.
You understand me? And we keep saying the party is in the pocket of some people. And they choose to do whatever they want to do. They didn't have Lanequia a free interest at heart.
Okay.
They didn't have at heart the people, the party faithfuls in Ablekuma North. Loyalty is very key. The people of Ablekuma North had always been loyal to the party called MPP. But can MPP say same in this instance?
Okay. All right. I guess that we'll leave that question.
But you know, there are some lessons
Really?
that should have been learned from this whole thing.
Okay.
I said that number one, the electorate in Ghana now should not be taken for granted.
Right.
Number two, we ought as politicians to honor party faithfuls and respect their loyalty.
Right.
Because in the past, you would shout Choboy in Ablekuma North, and you see the number of people who would come out as MPP. Can we say same today?
So it means something fundamentally has
Something fundamental is gone wrong there.
All right. Let me pick your thoughts. We just have 10 minutes to go, unfortunately. In fact, less than 10 minutes. So let's just do this briefly, 2 minutes each. Your thoughts. How often do you travel to America?
Should I say very frequently?
Very frequently, okay.
Yes,
Same
in the
with you?
past,
Same
as I
with-
said.
Same with you?
Yes, same.
Have you lived there
yes.
for
I have
so many
lived
years?
there.
I've lived in.
I was in U.S. in May,
Right.
and I'm
Okay.
hoping to be there end of August.
End of August,
Yes.
okay.
So
And Nana, you also travel to America quite often?
Yeah.
Or once in a while?
Oh, I was born in Tamale. I lived in Tamale.
Okay.
But
your second home is America.
Moro, you are talking about those who live
His
there.
second home is, in fact, his second home is America in Dakota.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
No,
interesting.
don't go North Dakota.
Why?
It's so freezing.
But it is a continent. United States is a continent. It's a
And I'm sure most of
massive-
you have a 5-year visa.
I've had a green card in the past because I live in California for 3 years.
3 years, okay.
Yes, and then there's some strategy if you want to really get to know United States. You know, it's a massive country. So if you are a resident outside United States, you buy something we call U.S. pass. So as soon as you get in, maybe if it is New York or somewhere, you just jump in a train called Amtrak.
Okay.
So the Amtrak train will almost is network, especially the West Coast area. It network across the country.
Okay.
You can take the opportunity to get to know the country quite well.
Yeah.
Even though their trains are very slow as compared to in Europe. In fact, when it comes to public transport, America is worse than a developing country. When it comes to public
No,
transport.
do they even have buses?
Some towns.
They have in certain areas.
Very poor. Very poor.
Oh, that's why they encourage
I
people
don't
to
buy their own cars because
Yes,
I don't.
yes.
And they have
public transport is
In fact,
very
they
poor.
have more people owning their own cars than
I think
No,
I'll
because
probably say Ghana
their
public
road
transport.
system and
Yeah,
their road
it's
infrastructure
fantastic.
is fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Their road
I'll
infrastructure
probably
is
say Ghana
fantastic.
public transport is better than the United States.
Of course.
I can
Of
confidently
course, no,
say
it's
that.
true.
You mean our VIP?
Yes.
Oh, our trotro is better
A
than.
popular town like what do they call it? Kumasi.
Yes.
Maybe you have 2 buses going a day,
Yes.
one in the morning,
Yes.
one in the evening.
Okay.
Because people largely drive over there.
Yeah.
But in Europe,
I think
it's different.
some of us who lived in the UK before, I think UK's transport system is good.
That one is.
it could be better,
Good is-
but it's
is-
good.
is
I
good.
think in Europe, I'll probably say Germany and Italy is one of the best places in public transport.
Okay.
Yes, Italy
even
is
Germany.
very good.
Not even in
I
Germany.
would suggest you also visit Belgium. Belgium is
I know
Oh,
Belgium
okay.
quite well.
Okay.
As compared to those countries. Yeah.
All right. So this is what this is what Donald Trump's America is now saying.
Yes.
You don't no more multiple visas for ordinary folks who just want to go.
Yes. Yes.
Or they want to avoid the hassle and bustle of always having to queue at the embassy.
Yes.
To apply for a visa.
Yes.
So they apply for 5 years, so they can come multiple. But now he
Yes.
says no. You'd have to meet certain criteria. It's been limited to
Yes.
certain categories of people.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
I can see where they are coming from. So under international law,
Okay.
what they are doing is not wrong.
Right.
Every country have got the right to decide who they want to admit and who they do not want to admit. So under international law, there's nothing wrong. So they are probably taking that particular decision in line with international law, something you cannot theoretically challenge in court. Having said that, if you see the recent statement released by our foreign minister, it has not also been helpful in that regard. Even though it was a senator in the United States who had made remarks about Ghana or in an American company, there was a need to pay. I think the reaction of the foreign minister was very, very unhelpful. He should have been a bit more diplomatic, even though I can see he was trying to be patriotic. But United States, sometimes you have to be very careful, especially when Trump is in power. They can be very vindictive. So I'm not sure whether Ghana was already part of those countries they had planned to do. And we can see he had always campaigned on immigration. He thinks there's a problem. And if you look at the United States, everybody will tell you, especially around Michigan, the country is largely underpopulated. It's empty. Some states, they are struggling to even get people. But I want to say something without missing the point. America is a racist country. I've lived there. I've seen their attitude. It's easier for you to travel from Western Europe to the United States as compared to coming from the African continent. While they want to admit more, I'm not just saying they are racist without missing the point. If the American ambassador is listening to me, you better listen careful. Look at this. It's easier, for example, if you are coming from Ukraine. It's easier. Look at the South African Africans. Look, they have admitted them without cautions. But when it comes to other countries, you see they're struggling to admit them. But let's put the racist aspect aside. What I've also seen the way countries do things is that if you are doing well economically, it's usually much more easier for you to travel to other countries. Because throughout the world, people frown on economic migrants. So if you are going to a country they perceive you are coming there mostly because of work and other things, usually those countries doesn't want you. But if they see that you are doing well economically at home, they want you to come because they prefer people who will come and spend.
Okay.
So I think this also informs the way they are treating African countries.
Okay.
And if we want to be treated better, we need to work harder, make home better. If your home is better, it's usually easier to travel.
All right.
If you look at the whole of European country plus Australia and some countries, they don't even need visa to enter United States.
All right.
You see that the approval is on arrival.
Okay.
Why is a visa restriction almost in African countries and developing countries?
Okay.
So the foreign minister should try to renegotiate. If negotiation fails, I think we cannot fight United States without unity. Like Ghana alone may not be able to punch.
All right.
But if it is Africa as a whole, we have a common policy.
Right.
If you are doing this to mostly Africa, you can see it's mostly African countries.
Okay.
If you are doing this to us, this is our African approach.
All right.
We are not only going to talk about visit.
Okay.
We are also going to go areas that will inflict pain on them.
All right.
And I think if we do it consistently, in consonant with other African countries, they will change their attitude towards us.
All right. We have 2 minutes to end the show. Otherwise, they'll take us off.
Well, I personally would want to say that what is happening across the world is worth studying. I put it on my Facebook page. I said that we had been reading about it in books. Now we are facing it in reality. We are a sovereign state. We can also call the shots. I am happy with the statement that was issued by Okudzato Ablakwa. It was spot on. You understand? And if you read the statement very well, you would understand that negotiations had started already to review some of these things, only for America to turn around to slap us with what they did. The quote and unquote, the smaller countries in Africa, as they may call us, should be able to stand our grounds. Listen, what is happening, we can only fight it when we have certain things on. If they are doing this, there are also other diplomatic decisions that we can also take that would also make them sit and know that indeed Ghana is a sovereign state. I have issues, especially when it comes to trade. I have issues why we mine gold in this country. We are one of the highest gold producers in the world, and we do not have a table, we do not have a seat on the table where gold pricing decisions are taken.
It doesn't make sense.
We grow cocoa in Ghana, one of the biggest and world producers of cocoa. We do not have a table, a seat on the table where some of these decisions are taken.
Right.
We need to just take a bold stand on some of these things. And then they would also know that without us, they can't survive.
All right.
I think that there is something in international diplomacy called reciprocity.
Right.
You do me, I do you.
Right.
The Americans said it's due to international reciprocity that Ghana and the other countries, Nigeria, are doing some things. I want to say that they said they want those countries to provide secure travel documents, sharing of information such as criminal history, etc. You are aware that now when you apply for US visa, you need to submit your social media handles for them to scan and see whether your visit will be in the interest of the US or not, and some of these things. But the heartwarming situation is that this change is only to last for 3 months before it will be reviewed. So maybe within the 3 months, we'll do something better and meet them and they restore us. But in fact, you go and queue and they give you 3 months. It's a bit unfortunate.
They have to do something about the embassy. Why would they always make us go and queue under the hot sun?
Don't go. If you go to even Ghana High Commission in London, if our own people are going, we also queue. The same.
No, I know the queuing is there, but it's under the hot sun.
So this is where we end the show. I want to say a big thanks to Ishaq Ibrahim, who is a private legal practitioner, UPSA law lecturer, and also a member of the MPP Legal Directorate. Thank you very much for joining us. I also want to say a big thanks to Theophilos Dimega, who is junior, actually, who is a private legal practitioner himself, an engineer, and a member of the NDC's communications team. And also Nanaya Sapong, political aid to Alan Chiramating. Thank you very much for joining us. And also, sorry, we couldn't have Professor John Osai-Kwapong and then Dr. Arthur Kennedy join us. Something came up. Thanks for watching Inside Pages. Same time next week, Saturday, we'll be back. Bye-bye.
Dr. Eva Vera. Hi, again. So good to see you too. You're always welcome. Don't cry. Hey, Dr. Guy.
Whenever I lie down and I look back now, I always thank God for the family I have and the family I came from. So regardless of everything, they've always stood by me to help me achieve my dreams.
This week on Cook Africa is the almighty Gobe. Hey, Mr. Nsanka Gobe really straight. Coming Saturday at exactly 5 p.m., Dr. Eva Vera is joining me in the kitchen. Dr. Janka Gobe Fane. But as I said, Gobe is a lifesaver. So as a doctor who saves life, you couldn't have cooked anything better than Gobe. So catch me live on Retro TV at exactly 5 p.m. on Saturday. Let's cook the almighty lifesaver, the everything. Gobe. My name is Angela Ahenewa, and catch me live on Retro TV at exactly 5 p.m. this Saturday. Let's eat.
Cook Africa is brought to you by Gino.
Now, why do you choose Chelsea? The other team that were there.
Chelsea's a stinker, so you know.
Excuse me, sir.
The small club. Quietly from the group stage to the round of 16 up to the final, and you are still doubting them.
We are having the Z Sport.
Always wanted to win.
Go get sponsor for them. Just sit up.
Producer, please.
No, Chelsea, you don't have any right. If Chelsea win this Carabao Cup, if Chelsea win this Carabao Cup, this is a mobile fight.